Are we live? I think we live. All right. So everything is lining up and coming on in here. I hope y'all are doing well today on this moon cycle Monday. It is Monday, December 8th, 2025. And y'all realize we only got 3 weeks left, right? And we are out of 2025. Let me see. My glasses gonna be having feedback. No. But in order to get this day started, we're going to talk about ovulation today because that's what was on my spirit. Maybe because I'm ovulating, but it was on my spirit because I think that we are coming into this space and place where it is what they call a cuffing season. And I wanted to talk about this because I know a lot of babies be getting made in the winter months. And I'm very firm and assured that it happens because my first two sons were born or were conceived in November. And so I know, I got a spot on my glasses. I know that this is the season when, it's all warm and cozy. You want to be, laid up with your partner. And there's a lot that comes with that. And I think that it's very important that we also know that, like, if we don't have a partner, don't just be laying up because you want some good warm vitamin D, okay? And ovulation is a sure time for you to be able to activate that, but it's also a short time for you to be able to use your voice to manifest the things that you do want so that you can get out of the loop with the things that you don't. So I'm here to shuffle up and get us some cards, okay? And for this session today, and I want to take my time because y'all can hear my voice sound a little different because my allergies have been acting up, okay? And so there's the first card we got for my period power deck. Now let's get an angel whisper card and see what the angels are going to be talking to us about today, okay? What do they want to say to us? We're going to be talking about that active balance, okay? So we got active and balance, and I'm going to go ahead and get my thumbnail so that I can be ready when this has to go live on my YouTube, okay? Give me a second, y'all. I'm looking. Okay? So let's talk about this, y'all. Let me go back. First, let me welcome y'all today. Okay, for those of you who are new to the group, I'm so excited you are here because we're going to talk about this phase of ovulation, which is really our power flow, right? Which is really about us being radiant and beautiful and magnetic and unapologetically abundant, because that's what this is all about. It's about our capacity to co-create. And so 'tis the season for being visible, because that's what being in the ovulation phase provides you with, which is why individuals be want to come through. They want to come through. They want to try to get in with you because 'tis the season. This is where we at, right? And so, but I want to also tie in the fact that in Isaiah 60 verse 1, chapter 60 verse 1, it says, "Arise and shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you." That is what's happening. The glory of God is rising on you so that you could be able to rise up too, so that you could be able to do all the things. And I know I've been tying a lot of scripture lately because I feel like that was one thing that my voice was supposed to be doing, is that I'm supposed to be bringing this brilliance and matching this energy from the physical world with the spiritual world. And I wanted to start with using scriptures. And so I want to really tap in today because what we're going to do in this sacred space is we're going to sync up, we're going to slow down, and we're going to turn our flow into fuel. That's what ovulation is all about, right? It's about us being able to not just slow down, like, don't do nothing, This is where we're supposed to slow down so we can really be able to come into our glow up. Because if everything you're doing right now is about like burning both ends of the candle, it's not going to work. That's why during menstruation, we got to be able to have balance, and we got to slow down when it's time to get active. So this is so funny because y'all get to see me shuffling these cards before we even start. So today's session is all about ovulation phase energy. That's magnetic, that's radiant, that's fertile, and that's building our confidence so that we can get those peaks, right? And we can be able to be in our creative flow, and that everything that we touch multiplies, okay? Because that's what real fertility is about. So get ready, because we get ready to close out 2025, and we're talking about overflow. So let's get into these cards real quick, okay? The period power card says, as your hormones climb rapidly towards their summit, life suddenly feels easier and more enjoyable, and you'll find yourself taking more on, okay? The superpower, this is the season to jump in with both feet or ovaries and to say a big fat yes to what comes your way. In the same way, or appetite, your appetite and need for sleep are often reduced in the summertime, and we're somehow able to do more on less fuel, right? So when you're ovulating, you're able to push more than you would in a regular season, right? And y'all know, while I'm talking about this summer season, y'all know that we have 4 seasons in our moon cycle. So we got menstruation, which is inner winter. We got follicular, which is inner spring. We have ovulation, which is inner summer, and we have luteal, which is inner fall. Today we're talking about the inner summer, not the season, because we in the winter. But just because we in the winter don't mean you're not going to have your own private summer, okay? And I ain't talking about perimenopause or menopause for those of us who are going through that, but even though this could apply, okay? The danger of this, right, is that I know I told you that this that this is the season to say yes, but it is, but also be aware that you don't want to load up your diary and smack bang in the middle of your autumn, which is luteal, because it's unlikely to work out so well. Meaning, like, don't add more stuff onto you that you really don't need. So yes, it's okay to say yes to opportunities, but be judicious, okay? I couldn't get that out with your timing. Understand and know what you can get done in that timeline before you get to that desire to want to slow down and rest, which comes right after ovulation for a good reason. And so a self-care tip during this would be, as estrogen peaks, it can surpass your appetite. Oh, estrogen wants you horny and searching for a mate, not wandering at the supermarket aisles. Sometimes you might find them in there, though. I'm just saying. And once you ovulate, you'll notice an increase in your appetite as progesterone, the nesting hormone, begins to rise. So ramp up your protein and fat intake to help stabilize your blood sugar and your mood. Okay, y'all make sure y'all eat right, because we talked about that too in our period challenge not too long ago, like about nutrition and why it's important for us to be able to stay in alignment with that, because it also impacts our hormones and how they balance out. So let's see here. Balance 222 Angel Whisper says, now is the time to take inventory of your feelings. Are there any feelings of imbalance or resistance? Divine whispers are here to remind you that the alignment that you seek also seeks you. Breathe, rest, and reset. The affirmation, what feels peaceful and calm easily finds me as I restore the balance within me. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Don't be letting nobody just talk you out of y'all panties this winter. Okay, find some balance even when you want to be active. So go ahead and drop that fire flame in the chat if you feeling yourself today, because that is the energy that we on. We want to be able to feel connected. We want to be able to feel loved and appreciated and valued or whatnot. But there's other ways that we can do that we can radiate with this energy and move in alignment with our hormones and not in resistance. But when we are moving in alignment with them, we also understand that we have to find balance, okay? So I'm gonna put these over here to the side, and we're gonna go here, we're gonna tap in, okay, and get this breath work in. Because I know y'all love that breath work. We need to acknowledge our breath, because that's a small blessing that we get to have every single day, because if we didn't have our breath, we wouldn't even be here. Okay, so let's activate this inner glow. How y'all like? Y'all like my hair? Y'all like my new look? How y'all think? What y'all think about it? I think it's cute. I'm so excited that y'all here. Yay! Hey Pookie. Hey Kyra. So glad y'all here. Okay. So let's go ahead and tap in and get this glow happening here, okay? I want you to fill your belly up with air. We're going to do a different breathing session. I did Pilates, I think it was last week. And in the Pilates class, it was talking about like our breath. And I noticed that when I was inhaling, I couldn't get as much air in my belly as I wanted to. But when she started talking about O breathing, I was like, oh, that is so good. So when we inhale deeply this time, we're going to make our mouths look like an O, like this. And we're going to suck in the air. We're going to fill our bellies up the same way you would blow out a balloon, right? Like that. We're going to suck in though. And so we're going to inhale deeply, and we're going to draw in that confidence, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to let it sit in our heart space. Okay. And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to release any self-doubt. Okay. And then we're going to inhale again, and we're going to inhale abundance, and we're going to hold it for the alignment that we're calling for. And we're going to exhale fear. Okay. And those are the breathing exercises we're going to do. Inhale confidence, hold it in our heart, release self-doubt. Inhale abundance, hold alignment, and release fear. Okay? So let's do it. Inhale again for abundance. Fill your belly up with air. We're going to hold that alignment for 1, 2. We're going to exhale that fear, blow it back out. You just feel your belly button falling into your spine. And we're going to inhale again. Filling up that confidence, letting your chest fill up. Your chest should be raising up. And you're going to sit it right there in your heart space. And then you're going to exhale and release any self-doubt. Just allowing yourself to soften. Inhale one more time for abundance. Hold for alignment. And exhale any fear. You are in your fertile flow, sis. And you're magnetic. You are divine. You are ready. And when I tell you about getting ready, we talk about 2026 is on the way. So we need to be ready to really express ourselves and put ourselves in a position to where 2026 really resonates with who we are. And when we're talking about this here, we're not just talking about just, you know, the easy part of like use your words, you know, say this, say that. Like you can say all you want to. You can have a whole word salad. But if what you're saying, you don't really believe it, that becomes the problem. And I think that our belief systems are really what impact us. So when we talk about that, we're going to talk about this from a power space, right? Because there's power in our words during ovulation. That's why during menstruation, we're resting. We're not doing all the things. We're resting so we can get the messages that come. So that when we get the messages in the seeds that come in the follicular phase, we can be able to like put them together. The follicular phase ain't for you to go out here and start telling people, oh, I got this idea, I'm about to do. Like, no. You know, this is a time when your cycle, when your voice is the strongest, is during ovulation. So it's when your tone, your presence, your energy, your natural draw, you know, is to pull people in, you know. So I'm telling you this because this is where our power really lies. This is where our energy is really the most abundant, right? So, and this is not a coincidence. I don't want you to think that. I think that God gave us this divine design and it's like super duper powerful that we can do this because these are the same hormones that prepare our bodies to create life that also activates our throat chakra, right? So that's why we breathe first. So your creative channel can be a bridge between your womb and the word, right? And then between the bridge from the womb to the word becomes the world that you want to see being produced. Does that make sense? Does that sound like something? Like, let me know in the chat if that makes sense to you. Because I really want y'all to tap in and get this energy today. Because I'm so serious about this, y'all. And I've been doing this work for some time and it's been working. Okay? It's really been a thing that's been working. And I want y'all to continue to understand and know how powerful it is to get into it. Okay. I feel like I can't get back into the community to see the live, but I got to go back in there. Okay. Let's see. Is it gonna let me do it? Oh, this is crazy. Well, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna hope that I can see the questions and things that may come up in the group. If there's any comments or anything, because I know sometimes it doesn't allow me to see it on the comment section over here. But I want y'all to understand that, right? Like our peak time during our ovulation, our words are the seeds that we carry in the follicular phase, right? So what you declare in this season, it takes root. So you can rest in it and get it done, and you can move through that conception space in the luteal phase. That's why you come down, because your body's like, slow down. I need you to protect that energy that I just gave you. I need you to protect that seed that you just conceived, and I need you to rest in it and prepare for it to be matured, right? And then when we get to bleed on it, and we talked about this too, when we get to bleed on that energy again and again, we get to see it deeper and deeper and deeper into the root of what it is that we want to produce. This is why when I talk about pretty period is about power, being pretty, making periods pretty, powerful, and profitable. We're not just talking about this stuff because we want y'all to be like, oh yeah, I got this information about moon cycle awareness. Like, no, we want this to be a movement for you, a devotional for you. So we want to make sure that you are understanding that this energy is rooted in you. It ain't something you got to go out here and buy in a store. But if you don't know what it is and how it works, then no, you're not going to think about, okay, well, during my ovulation time, this is my bridge between what my womb is telling me, right? Which is, your womb is telling you, oh my God, I want to be cultivated. I want to be pruned. I want somebody to put their hoe in me. I don't know how that was supposed to come out, but it came out the way that it did, right? And I hope that it comes out better than what I had addressed it as. But what it is that I want you to understand that, like, you're going to want to be cultivated. And if you ever know anything about gardening, that means that somebody's going to be digging that thing out. You're going to have to dig down in it to put that seed in it. And the desire for our bodies naturally calls for it. So our voice, our throat chakra, oh my God, I really want a man. I really want to, feel this, or I want to be this way. Like the same way that we be calling that energy in, we can call in the energy of things that we want to see on a higher scale, right? Like, oh man, I really want my business to flourish this month, and I need to be doing this, and this in order to make that flourish, right? Use that energy from your womb to produce the world through your words, to get outside of the norm of what we've understood ovulation for. Okay? So let me see. Move my notes. And I know it's hard because this means that this is not the time to be complaining about what's hard. It's not the time to be doubting yourself or be doing self-sabotage, right? This is the time to speak in faith. You know, faith without works is dead. The work that's being done is the roots that you are, the seeds that you planted. So it's a time to speak in faith, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. You might not see it, but you know that you want it. You know you want the experience. So you start to create this way for you to affirm your future. You start to prophesy your own prosperity. You know, so you have to say what you want, not what you fear. And I'm telling y'all this because it's stuff that I have also had to learn and embody. I'm not saying this like, oh gosh, I'm a master, you know, blah, 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 blah. No, because it still impacts me too. But I also have to snap myself out of it quickly to say, Rashonda, get your mind right. You know what time of the month it is. That's why tracking your cycle and understanding where you are is so important, because you can create the script of life that you want to have using your womb. It ain't just for somebody to be pouncing on it. It's for you to be able to sit on it. And when you sit on it with the power of what the throne is, then you start to magnify energy towards you. You start to be more receptive. And in that receptive mode energy, guess what you become? A soft girl. And everybody wants to get into the soft girl era, right? Nobody wants to be out here working hard. You know, you want things to be able to come to you. So when you can say what you want, you can move that energy around. You can be an alchemist. You can transmute that energy and turn your fears into your favor. Okay, hold on, let me put that on a t-shirt or something, fears in the favor. Anyway, so I just want to talk about that because, you know, it says it in the Bible. For those of y'all who don't read the Bible, I have gotten back into that for myself and that practice. And I've always read other spiritual books and texts, but something told me to come back because there were things that I was seeing. And when I was going to my Bible, it was aligning with what I was seeing. So I was like, okay, God, this is where you got me at in this season of my life. I'm here for it, right? So in Proverbs 18, and y'all can write this stuff down. Y'all can go and double, you know, and check on it yourselves too. But it talks about life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? Proverbs 18:21. I've also been seeing this really beautiful context around like numbers in the book, specifically in Psalms and in Proverbs. But I want to talk to this piece for a second because the number 18 is generally, as a woman, is where we feel like, okay, we have gotten to a certain level of maturity, we are semi-adults, and we can make certain decisions. But a lot of times we're making decisions that are emotionally driven, not mature, because our, you know, gray matter in our brains have not filled in enough for us to really be conscious. And that doesn't happen until about age 25. But in age 21, which I'm speaking to Proverbs 18 and 21, like we have to understand how to use our words now. When we had our babies, and for those of us who are mothers, when we would talk to our kids, what would we tell them? Use your words, right? So when we talk about using your words, that's what we're talking about. You know, we're talking about using our words and being able to do the things that we need to do. So I want to make sure that I'm saying this stuff because the mouth is your ministry. The same God who created the world by saying, let there be, gave you the same authority. And I know a lot of people will be feeling some kind of way, but it's that same intentionality. So today, we're going to use that power intentionally, because when your womb is open, your words are fertile. And a lot of times we don't understand how to use our womb magic or use our womb energy, essence, or whatever in order to really produce the fruit that we say that we want to see. So let there be, right, receptivity. Let there be honor. Let there be power. Let there be prosperity. You know, let there be abundance. And when we can walk in that energy in that same way, oh my God, you telling me that this is not something that we were designed to do as womb bearers? No, we were designed to make sure that we are using, oh my God, using our wombs to be in connection to each other. Like if you've ever seen a picture of the larynx, right? The throat and the vagina, they look the same. You know why? Because there's an activating portal. If we don't understand that, we don't get to really fulfill the aspects of ourselves the way that we needed to. And I'm going to say this in without the desire to harm or to trigger or anything, but a lot of us who have experienced any kind of abuse or sexual trauma in our early years, pre-18 or any other kind of sexual issues around our younger adult years, we start to doubt our power, especially if somebody embarked upon that power or infringed upon that power without our permission or consent. And so when I do this work, I'm also doing this work to reclaim that power too, because I understand and I know that this is where we are in the world, right? We're in the world right now where male and female energy is just like at odds with each other all over the place, right? We see, at least we see that on the internet. But and that's usually like younger folks who are going through all of this stuff. But what we want to be able to do is redirect that. So when we can take a pause from all of that and we can lead ourselves back to declaration of what it is that we really want, then we can move and navigate different. And so I want to speak some life into y'all right now, and I want y'all to speak the same words that I'm going to say into your own self, because yes, this is the time that we are in, okay? So say these words with me. I speak life into my goals. I speak wealth into my work. I speak peace into my relationships. I speak joy into my body. And my words create worlds. It don't have to be some long, drawn-out thing. And to me, these are also prayers. Thank you, God, for helping me to speak life into my goals. That I have faith of a mustard seed because I can speak wealth into my work, because I can speak peace into my relationships, I can speak joy into my body, because my words create worlds. Let there be. Let there be. You know, I don't know about y'all, but like the ovulation phase, this is your time. Your time. You know, when you're ovulating, you might not be at the same level with everybody else. That's why it's important for us to not be caught up on that. Like, we don't have to be caught up on the same aspects of what everybody else is doing and when they're doing it. You know, it don't necessarily have to be that. And so I think that it's important for us to understand that, because we get so caught up in the desire to want to be on time like everybody else. But it's a time for you to launch. It's a time for you to pitch. It's a time for you to promote. It's a time for you to proclaim. And heaven is literally listening to you for your let there be. God is literally listening to you. So go ahead and speak it, sis. Because the words that your womb are asking you is, what's next? Your womb is asking you to say, what's next? What else are we giving birth to? What else are we going to conceive? And when we know that our womb has words, our womb has wisdom, we start to make sure that we are activating that energy and that wisdom so that we can really do the things that we need to be doing with our life, okay? And I'm so serious about it. I'm so serious. Because when we hit the ovulation phase, everything opens up. Not just your body, but spiritually. Spiritually, you are open to receive. That's what this phase is all about. Menstruation, inner winter, hibernation, we rest, we reclaim, we get downloads, follicular. We are in that phase of like all the seeds that were downloaded to us, and now we can actually confirm them and plant them in our sacred spaces and places when we get to ovulation. Your energy is higher, your charisma, your magnetism, your creativity is unstoppable. So when we get to this point and at this moment in your cycle, this is where you are also most visible. You want to go outside, you want to go and meet people, you want to go do things, and that's the spirituality of it. And that means that it's your time to be seen. It's your time to be heard. It's your time to be paid. Okay? The ovulation phase is God's reminder that fertility is not just biological, it's also entrepreneurial. It's also entrepreneurial. It's the birthing of ideas and partnerships and opportunities that can be multiplied. So you're not just ovulating, you're overflowing. That's what they say, my cup is overflowing. That's what you want to be able to pour from, right? You don't want to pour from an empty cup. It's like the perception, right? Is your glass half empty or half full? I would like mine to be running over. Like I want that Aquafina. I want that WAP, okay? I want all of my wealth and my access and prosperity, WAP, okay, to be running over. So if you've been praying for a confirmation, let this be yours today. About launching your business, about meeting new people, about posting the content that you've been wanting to post, about just simply showing up. This is your divine yes. This is something you can say yes to. Don't be saying yes to that ugly boy or man. And yes, I did call him ugly. Because the only reason why you're looking at him like that right now, because he looked all masculine and beastly, like, oh, he's mateable. Yeah, and then you're not going to even like him in 2 weeks. So don't even look at him. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like me. I love me. This is my yes season. And as I'm ending out, I'm going to rest in this yes season. I'm going to confirm in this yes season so that when I launch in 2026, I'm up. I'm up. We have more days left in this year to prepare. Okay? So I want you to think about that. And stop hiding your gifts. Stop shrinking in spaces that you were called to be a leader in, or an expert in. And it ain't got to be an expert. Like we be thinking about expert stuff like, oh my God, I got to be so super smart. I got to be uber smart. Like, no, you don't. You don't have to be uber smart. It ain't even about all of that. What you have to be is available. Because what I'm also learning is that people like for individuals to come and be novice and stuff. Even though there's going to be people that's going to talk about it. But guess what? When they see you getting better and better and better, guess what that's going to do? Make them say, oh my God, I've been with them this whole time. I've been on their trail. I've been following them. I've been doing because we in the age of technology, and that's where it's going to be for right now. Okay? So you have to be able to understand that the glow that you feel in this phase is not vanity. It's visibility. And God is saying it's your time to shine. It's your hormones. It's your Holy Spirit working together and saying, now it's time to step forward. Now it's time to be seen. Now it's time to show up and show out. Now it's time to glow up. Okay? So this week, send the email. Shoot the text. Shoot the content. Launch a brand. To say yes, and I'm ready. Because there's also an opportunity coming for you. And this opportunity that's coming for you, for those of you who are members of this group, we're launching our Pretty Period Ambassador Program. Okay? And I want you to say that you are ready for that. Because if you want to be a person who can be called a thought leader or moving in spaces and places that helps to uplift other women in your community that you know need this type of devotional. Because it ain't about a devotional to a building, an institution, or people. It's about a devotional to yourself. And when you can be devoted to yourself, do you realize how many other people will be devoted to you? Because all of that is working in alignment for you. That's a gift. The gift of devotion is not just for other people, but it's for you first. So I want you to think about that. For those of you who have your journals, I have something I want you to write down. I want you to think about this. I want you to reflect, and I want you to engage. If you don't have your journal, then go ahead and put it in our chat, because I want to really know where are you right now? Where's your energy? What is it that you really are tapping into and wanting to be able to be acknowledged about, right? What is it that you feel called to promote by the end of 2025? What is it that you're doing right now that you're like, man, I've been working on this all year. I've been working on these last 6 months. I've been working on this last quarter, and I really want to get this done before the end of 2025. What is it that you want to do? Understanding where you are in your cyclical nature can help you. If y'all ain't heard me say that all year, you know what I wanted to do in 2025? Get to the end of this year doing what I'm doing right now. It was simple. It wasn't nothing hardcore and big. Yeah, I got a boutique and I launched it at the beginning of the year. We get ready to make it to our 1 year in January. Okay, kudos. So you know, all the snaps, you know. But I also understand that there are certain things that, you know, I need to release in order for me to really be able to show up the best way that I can. So I want you to also reflect on that. What fear am I finally releasing so that I can be fully seen? What's holding you back from being visible? What's holding you back from really being seen? What do you need to invite into the flow to work on you in 2026? What flow do you need to be in sync with you, in alignment with you, in order for you to be able to move forward in 2026? Y'all put this stuff in the chat. Talk about it. I want y'all to talk about it. Tell me, what is it that you really want to see come into life for you? What is it that you really want to be able to build access to? What is it you really want to be fully seen as? What is it that you are interested in becoming? Because a lot of times we gotta conceive ourselves too. We gotta pull ourselves up so that we can really be able to be in alignment with the person that we say that we want to become. Right? And as a 40-plus-year-old woman, yes, we are also still becoming. We are also still reinventing ourselves. For those of us who have older children, who are preparing to leave the nest and do all the different things. For those of us who got little bitty kids who are getting ready to start going to school, or we're making plans for them to be able to do new things in the new year. All of those things are working together. And when you're in ovulation mode, you can really tap into that energy, right? To really put things in action, because that's really what it's about. It's about where you put in your action. And if you don't know where you are in your cyclical nature, it's going to be harder. If you don't know you're supposed to be resting when you're bleeding, you're going to be all out of whack when it comes to ovulation, because you're going to be in a rush and feeling desperate to get something to fulfill what you didn't get to do when you were supposed to be resting in the menstruation phase, in the bleed cycle. Then when you get to follicular, you ain't going to have no seeds. You're going to be planting your seeds on concrete instead of in fertile ground. Period. Okay? So I want you to write this stuff down. I want you to really be actively thinking about this week, because this is the homework that I need for you to do. Okay? So we get a transition. We get to talk about this ambassador program, y'all. Because we're not just talking about this moon cycle information for nothing. I ain't built up this whole 12-month catalog of videos for nothing. I want to be able to turn this into a flow for all of us to have some financial freedom in 2026. Now, you've heard me hint about it a few weeks, and now it's official. Pretty Period is launching our ambassador program, and it's about to be one of the most powerful, okay? Y'all don't hear me though. It's going to be one of the most powerful ways to walk into 2026 with purpose and profit, okay? And I want to tell y'all why. This is not one of them affiliate things. It's not. It's a movement. It's a movement, and I'm seeing a lot of people who jumping on the bandwagon with all these different programs and things like that, where you gotta, have all these lead magnets and all these different things in order for you to line up and do the work that you need to do. And we will have some of those things, but if you're not really working it and you don't really know how to work it, it ain't gonna work for you. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put things together that where we're bringing women together. Women who are ready to educate about menstrual health. Women who are ready to host pretty period experiences in their home, in their city, in their community, okay? Who's ready to sell our luxury moon cycle jewelry, all right? And make some real income while building their own personal brand, because I'm not the only one that has a period, and you not either. There are millions of women, actually like 6 billion, okay? So I want y'all to understand that you don't need a degree to do this. God didn't say, you know what, I'm going to give you a degree so that you get your period together so you can start understanding how you can have babies. No, it's just a desire, boo-boo. You just have to have the desire to empower women and the willingness to shine while you're doing it. And the willingness to also understand and say, you know what, today I'm going to have my cycle, or my cycle started, so I'm going to relax. I'm not going to do nothing today. Or before your cycle starts, which is in the luteal phase, I'm going to schedule all of this so I ain't even got to be bothered for the next 72 hours. The only thing I'm going to be doing in the next 72 hours is coming in and checking a little bit, maybe commenting a little bit, doing a little something here and there. But overall, no. We are getting ready to teach individuals how to be in this position with their periods that makes them pretty powerful and profitable. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's been a long road to get here. But hey, it ain't just hype, y'all. It's a reality. And this reality is going to take us here, right? So I want y'all to make sure that y'all get on the calendar. I've already put all the dates in the group. So on the 12th, we're going to do the applications. The applications go live on the 12th, okay? The onboarding begins on the 21st, which is winter solstice, okay? Winter solstice. And then on January 2026, we officially launch our first cohort of Pretty Period ambassadors. And this is the moment that we're waiting for, right? This is your moment to walk into 2026 already positioned for profit. If you don't have an idea, if you don't have a career goal, or you don't have something that you want to do, I had a friend tell me one time, or not even really a friend, she's a friend, but she's also a mentor. She was like, listen, if you want to make $1 million, you got to help somebody else make $1 million first. And when you help a person make $1 million, you learn how to make $1 million. And that's what this is about. We're talking about community, coaching, commissions, content support, the entire sisterhood that glows together. Okay? A sisterhood that glows together grows together. And I'm going to tell you, when we start glowing up in them coins, it's going to really make a big difference, because then you don't have to worry about the same things that the world is facing right now, because you're creating your own world. You're creating your own way for you, forward for you, for your family, for your future, for your own well-being. Okay? If you've ever felt like you were supposed to do more, you were meant for more, you were supposed to be speaking, you were supposed to be an influencer, you were supposed to be sharing your womb wisdom, this is your invitation. Like, my cycle and my experiences ain't gonna be like yours, but it's a woman out there that's gonna be like me too. And I guarantee you there are certain things that we can share together collectively that we can say, girl, me too. And ain't nothing like that. So I want you to drop kissy lips or money bag in the comments if you're ready to become a Pretty Period ambassador. I need you to do that, because this is what time we on right now. Everybody talking about, oh, we on this time and that time. We on period time. Period. Okay? We on Pretty Period time, so that you can become a Pretty Period ambassador in 2026. That's the time that we're on. That's what we doing. That's what we working towards. That's what we saying we want to get into, because that's where we at. Okay? And if that's not where you at, it's okay. I'm not putting no pressure and no pain where it ain't. I just want you to be able to understand this is where we are. Listen, what you mean, Kiki? Birth work full time. That's what you want to be doing this year? I'm gonna tell you, I did a class, a training a couple of years ago, and what I realized is that, and this is for me, it might not be for you, right? What I realized is that when we want to say we want to do birth work, the only thing we think about is our hands being in the work like that. You know, we don't think about the fact that there's other ways that we can practice birth work outside of having a stringent schedule, outside of trying to get clients to book and to do all of those different things. This is a whole different game plan. I'm not training doulas anymore in that capacity. Birth work for me has been a beautiful career pathway, but I also understand that there are other ways that we can be able to show up as a birth work provider, right? And not necessarily have to put ourselves in a time lock in order to do that. So that's what this work is for me. And I'm inviting other birth work providers who want to experience that, because I also understand that most birth workers don't even have a business plan. They don't even know how they want to be able to show up fully to do the work. So it becomes hard for them to do the work and to practice with longevity. And when I started really looking at that, and as I was building out all these workforce programs, it was easy for me to say, oh, this is why. Because most of the time we're doing this work out of passion. We're doing this work because we like, oh my gosh, my community, they deserve and they need and they want blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, oh, your community needs these things, but it's really based upon the fact that you believe that your community needs it. Sometimes our community don't even want it. But you got to find out, you know, what works best for you and how you want to really be able to align with your time and your energy and your space. And that's for anybody who's listening to this video, right? You got to be able to figure out where it is that you want to align with the work that you say you want to do, and how do you want to do it? How do you want to show up? How much money do you want to make? And not be afraid to be talking about money. And that's another thing that's a wound, money, valuation, capacity. What is it that you can really take in, and how much are you willing to put out? That's a big part of this work. That's a big part of this work, and a lot of the fact that our work gets thwarted because we don't really know how to do it and place it in time. And with childbirth, there's no way for you to say, oh well, I'm not gonna. I need to take this time off. When you on call, you on call. And I decided that I was going to wrap that part of my life up, okay, and work from a different lens. But I'm still a birth worker. I'm still a birth work provider, right? And so I want to talk about our January 11th vision board party, right? And this is one more thing before we wrap up, because y'all know I love to plan in divine timing. So mark your calendar, sis. Go ahead and click on the link in the events tab for January 11th, 2026, because we bring out all the vibes, all the affirmations. If you are local and you want to come to the boutique, we are going to have wine. We're going to have the womb magic to design all your entire 2026. Whether you're local or you want to join us virtually, we have done the virtual vision board. So everybody's going to be bringing their laptops, because we ain't pulling out glue and stickers. We pulling out our laptops, and we're going to be doing this work so that you don't want to miss that night. You do not want to miss that night, because New Year's don't start on January 1st. It actually starts on March 21st. So we're going to get a head start to do our vision working on January the 11th. And I want to make sure that you are understanding how empowered you will be when you start to understand how to align yourself with your time, with your timeline, with what you put into your work. And we can even map out. It's so crazy, because I have one of my clients that she comes and she buys panties all the time. She's like, girl, I had to make my own calendar. And when I made my calendar, I just put everything in it for the whole year based upon my predictive cycles. And y'all know that can change. But I was impressed by her making that decision to plan out her whole year. Her travel, her work schedule, all the things based upon what she was able to look at her cycle and see. That to me is prophetic. Because if it aligned with her and it worked out, then she was on a whole nother level. We're going to get into that level on January 11th. We also have another event coming up. I don't know if y'all saw it. I'll share it in the group with Deanna Monet. and it is all about releasing the Jezebel spirit. I will share that in the group for those of you who are local. We are only taking 10 to 20 women, and once that is booked, it's done. So if you know that you want to walk into the new year, you want to have a bigger presence in your spirit that is divinely aligned to your feminine, and not to the dark, not to the body that's saying like, oh, I just want to use my attractive power, or prowess to lure men. We ain't man eaters in here, okay? We are divine feminine women who are in alignment with the action and the magic that God has put in us, so that we can be able to move in that divine timing and know how we can choose our partners, know when we can have our children or expand our families when we want to. We can also understand how to bring positive, productive workforce energy into our lives. It ain't about getting out here and just being all willy-nilly. It's about being able to pull in and call yourself into yourself, so that you can be able to be receptive of what is for you. Okay? So we're going to affirm this good energy, because I know that when it all comes down to it, the reason why I created this space for the ambassadors was because I know that there are individuals out here who are contacting me all the time about, oh, well, will you do this in this city? Can you come over here? Can you do that? Like, I don't have the time to be everywhere everywhere that people want me to be, but I also don't have the desire to. I want to just be able to stay in the flow of what it is I do. So it said, okay, people want this, but what if I could show people how to have this? What if I could show people how to create these environments for themselves, for the parties and things that I host, for the events and things that I host? You don't even have to have an event space. I started doing all of the work that I do in my house. And if y'all don't believe it, go back to 2016 and look at my Facebook and look on all the different things that I've done over the years. I started in my home. And then I expanded out year after year after year. So these are things that we're not talking about no get rich quick scheme. We're talking about creating pretty powerful and profitable business models and opportunities for us to be able to build with longevity, right? Because what the race is not to the swift, but it's to those who endure. And the endurance really just means that I need to be able to have patience. And I've been patient. Very patient. Okay. So we're going to close out this session, y'all. We're going to close out this session because I think I've said enough. Mark your calendars for the 12th of January. Mark your calendars for the 21st of January. The 12th of December, 21st of December, and the 11th of January. 3 dates, okay? And if you have not already done so, go ahead and get your journals from our stand store so you can be ready for 2026. Go ahead and go get it, okay? I'm about to drop that in the chat. And while you're over there, you can also put your name on the email list if you are interested in joining the ambassador program, and you'll get your link to the application when it launches on the 12th, okay? Because we're serious about this. I have a small team, very small, okay? And my small team is really excited about doing this work because they understand and they know that, like, where we are right now in the world, right? It's all about being able to recalibrate your timeline, recalibrate your time and your energy so you can have more that you can give to yourself. And people be feeling like you're selfish. But you're not selfish because you've been selfless. And a lot of times what we want to give to people, like I said in the beginning, people be like, oh, I don't even want that. I don't even need all that. I don't even want all of that. And they don't. But you think they should have it because you want it. But this 'tis the season to find the people who want what you want, to align with the people who align with what you want, to find your tribe, to build your essence, to leave your legacy and your mark in your community. Okay? Ooh. So let's close out this session, y'all, with some alignment work. That's how y'all feeling? Y'all want some alignment work? Y'all need alignment? I know you got to get alignment before the winter comes, so your tires don't be wobbling. Got to get new tires. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put y'all in alignment so we can really affirm and close out this year with the divine power and energy that we need so we can be on fire. Like, what do you need in the wintertime? You need heat, right? You need heat. So this is the heat. This is the fire. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put our hand, left hand on our heart, right hand on our womb, and you're going to repeat after me. I am magnetic. I am fertile in my faith, not just in my body. I am called to shine and called to serve at the same time. I honor my cycle as my compass, and I will walk in this divine flow. Going to and going from. I am magnetic, and I am fertile in my faith, not just in my body. I am called to shine and called to serve at the same time. I honor my cycle as my compass, and I walk in divine overflow as I am going to and fro. Meaning wherever you go, and say, God, I thank you for every open door, for every new opportunity, and for allowing me to carry the wisdom of creation within me. And we say, Ashe. Amen. In Jesus' name. I want you to reflect on that. Reflect on the doors that you want to open for you, the new opportunities, the wisdom that you carried all year long that God gave you, and how you want to align with that. Because since we get ready to round out, 2025 is up. It's up. It's over. It's up and it's up and it's up and it's up. It's up there. It's not coming back. We're not going to get to go back to January 2024 and try to redo things. What didn't work then, don't try to bring it into the 2025 model unless you know for sure that it's something that you're really going to stick to this year. Round out 2025 as your season to glow louder, to love your body deeper, to say yes to the abundance that is already within you, so that you can attract more to you, so you can become a magnet. What did we just say? I am magnetic. And I am fertile in my faith. You got to believe that. You got to believe that you're magnetic. You got to believe that you can glow up. You got to believe that you have abundance within you. Don't sit this one out though, please, okay? I want you to share our Pretty Period group with your circle. Invite 2 or 3 women who need this space. Like this video, tag your people when you share and invite them to the group. Okay? Because applications are open at 12/12. Onboarding starts 12/21. Okay? And our vision board party for all of those who are participating, even if you are not in the ambassador group, you still get to come party with us on January 11th. Okay? And let's walk into 2026, as faces of this menstrual health movement. Ain't that what y'all want to be? Don't you want to be the face of your own movement? Don't you want to talk to your community about no longer making these things taboo? But we're talking about $1 trillion industry. But it's neither here nor there, because guess what? Mark your calendars. I've said enough. I've used my throat chakra today. I have on blue to represent my throat chakra. Okay? So, I'll see y'all next week. Same time. Different glow. Okay? Because I'm be pulling into my luteal phase. I'm be trying to round this thing on out. Okay? Because some cycles were meant to be repeated. Okay? We're going to do this over and over and over and over again. So why not make it pretty powerful and profitable? Okay. All right. I'll see y'all soon. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Don't forget to invite your folks. And yeah, we'll tap in. All right. Love, light, liberation. Peace.